Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Max, and today's video is on Meet Your Maker, and some interesting stuff that I had actually kind of thought about that I felt would be interesting to bring up. Not really a discussion of like right versus wrong or different perspectives, just some, brainstorming ideas that could possibly be in the game, maybe in the future, or just some stuff that I liked and thought would be an interesting topic to discuss, see if people, are kind of on board with that idea or not. And one thing that really came to mind was global modifiers for like your entire outpost. Um and this kind of stemmed from a couple comments that I've noticed from a few different videos and shorts that I've posted so far, where one of my favorite levels I actually liked playing was someone who made a maze. And the way that they did it was with an early bolt shot, similar to what you saw in this level, where if you were to go ahead and dive into the level pretty quickly, that early bolt shot actually, unfortunately, destroys the harvester. Now, in most cases, it's a downside because you are trying to obviously make sure that that harvester is an asset for you. You're looking at the path that it creates so that you can escape. But what I found was that I actually really liked one level I played where the harvester was destroyed really early on, and the rest of the level was actually built like a maze. Intentional dead ends, intentional looping. There is a GenMat capsule at the end, and they're even putting all of these traps along a corridor that, if the harvester was alive, I would have never walked through. And granted, some people, I know at a time when I was looking in comments, some people were like, I just killed the harvester because he's annoying. You people are evil. There's my hot take for this video. I think the harvester is like a little dog. You gotta protect the boy. But in reality, it made me think, like, what if that was like a modifier for the outpost you bought, right? Like, maybe, hypothetically, I don't know how you attach it to the lore or the dynamic of the game, but maybe in your level you see, like, when you spawn in the harvester, maybe he has like a little dizzy animation, he's like confused with what's going on, and that would be like an indicator of, okay, well, maybe this person spent X amount of synthite or whatever resource it may be. And obviously when you're building, you have like capacity, so probably it would be like a individual buy then capacity, but like they spent some capacity for their defenses so that you're not allowed to have a harvester. And that actually like allows a completely new, in my opinion, dynamic of building like a maze level or something where you're still required to have the pathing for the harvester in order for a level to be like validated, but he isn't there to give you a hint. Another thing that could be like a global modifier is something like a gravity modifier, right? Like, what if you have low or high gravity global modifiers? So now, sure, you could still use your grapple to move around, and that's fine, but if you choose to build with that in mind, now bolt shots maybe won't go as far, or you'll notice when you drop down somewhere, drop downs are way scarier because it's just so much more difficult to double jump back up. Granted, I hope that wouldn't cause an issue for balance. Hypothetically, if you do like super gravity and you make a pit with a corrosion cube on the ceiling, you don't really have an easy way to grapple out. I'm sure there's going to be some individual caveats with each of these examples, but it just makes me think, like, if you were to have a global level modifier, how much more interesting individual levels can be. So it's not just trap combinations and guard combinations. You can actually have like this entire different approach to the way that you're trying to protect your gen mat in an outpost. And I feel like the level I had the most fun in was a maze, and the maze, when they killed the harvester early, I decided to play through it because I'm like, okay, I see how the level's going, but for me, it was still entertaining. If I chose to just completely, abandon that level, ignore it, then it wouldn't have really mattered. I just would have followed the harvester out. So it was something like that I thought was interesting. And even then I realized that some of the things I talk about, they could even be considered like traps. For example, like the gravity modifier, right? What if instead of it being a global modifier, maybe down the line we have like something similar to like that plasma sphere turret that we've seen, where it just pulses out an AoE of gravity modifier for a few seconds. So then sometimes you have normal gravity, sometimes you don't, and that could disorient people. And what if you have I think the augment was there for like the smasher piston, where you make it random intervals, and now you can't even predict when you're going to have gravity change. So even if you're trying to time a cycle to go through an area, you still have some uncertainty. I think those are pretty interesting ideas. You know, even right now, something that came to mind is like, okay, what if you had like pulsing magnetic stuff? So maybe it's not related to gravity, but what if it redirects projectiles? So if I shoot straight, but there's this like magnetic well on the left, like my bullet's now going to curve past that magnetic well. So none of the projectiles are actually going to line up straight, and it makes it hard to shoot. Granted, I don't know what's the strongest loadout, so maybe, you know, putting one of those as an indirect nerf to something that's already weak. Just some ideas. You know, I'm really just tossing them out because as it stands right now, I really like the game. I like the concept. I like the idea. The content just feels a little not there yet. And I just wanted to toss out some ideas to you guys as like yo, do you think this is a cool idea? Do you guys have some cool ideas? Not really much of a discussion, more of just kind of a tossing some stuff out there. Let me know what you guys think of it. This is going to be a lot shorter. I honestly just, you know, I'm having a little bit of a hard time coming up with some more content for this game just because it doesn't seem like there's as much content there. But if you guys are interested in it, I'll keep trying to figure some stuff to pop out. So just let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and take it easy, everybody. Peace.